All right, what's up guys? Diego here with RoofCon. This is the Rise Above show presented by RoofCon. And on this episode, we got to hang out with Kevin Harrington of Shark Tank here in Costa Rica at the Commitment Summit. Shout out to JC Height for the invite and for putting this awesome event together. So Kevin is an original shark from the show Shark Tank, and he is going to be a headline speaker at RoofCon this year. So if you like what we talk about here in this episode and you want to catch more of him, catch him at RoofCon this year, November 9th through the 11th at the Orange County Convention Center. Get your tickets today at roofcon.com. With that, let's get to the episode. Welcome to the Rise Above show presented by RoofCon. My name is Diego Dante, and I'm thrilled to bring you inspiring conversations with some of the most innovative and bright minds in our industry. From business and entrepreneurship to personal development and growth, we'll explore the strategies, insights, and stories that have helped our guests rise above challenges, overcome adversity, and achieve their goals. So sit back, relax, and join us on this journey of empowerment, inspiration, and discovery. This is the Rise Above show. Hey guys, welcome. I'm super excited here. We're in Costa Rica, and I'm here with my friend Kevin Harrington. He's one of the original sharks on Shark Tank. We actually both here at this conference, and so I said, hey, let's take a few minutes just to chat and get to know each other, and especially because he's going to be coming to RoofCon, and so I wanted to get to introduce him, and you guys are going to get to see a lot more of him at RoofCon. But man, I'm excited to be here with you.
Hey, Diego, great to see you too.
Yeah, and I mean, this is like the perfect spot for a conference. I mean, just here, Costa Rica is beautiful. So
yeah,
I wanted to ask you, I got to watch your keynote today, and so you talked about preparing companies to be able to be acquired, and so this is something in the roofing space that's we've been hearing a lot about new private equity firms coming in and all this stuff, and so I wanted to know, one of the questions that people were asking in the group today was, what are some of the things that companies can do to prepare for a possible investment or a buyout?
Right, very good question. So what's really exciting for me coming to RoofCon is that people today that know what I've done most recently know that I'm in the as seen on TV business, and
right.
and created over 1,000 different projects in that world, but and then going on Shark Tank. But what a lot of people don't realize, I started way back, and this was back in the 70s and in the 80s. I had a heating and air conditioning company actually that did home improvements, and so we this was very similar to being in the roofing business, in that we had to get customers, leads, execute and do the installation, et cetera, et cetera. So I understand that business now. It's changed a lot since, and this is what I would say, that there's a lot of businesses in the roofing world that have been operating for many years successfully, but not at the highest margin possible. And so what's happening is there are companies that are doing sort of acquisitions of companies, and there's some great opportunities for people that have a business that has some success and some longevity to it to have an exit if they want. But I suggest that before they even explore that, take a look at the opportunities that exist to punch up as many of your revenue streams as possible, and get your percentages tuned up, because the higher your EBITDA is, that your earnings before interest, taxes, et cetera, the higher that is, the more multiple you can get, and certainly the more money you would get for the sale of the business. So there are 3 or 4 things that someone that's in the roofing business can do, that they can go boom, 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 that can help increase the efficiency and the sales and the profits of the company, so that they're going to hopefully get maximum dollars if they do sell.
What are some of the things that business owners in general do wrong that business owners in the roofing space should avoid as much as possible?
Well,
maybe we pick one thing.
Yeah, I think one
time.
What's kind of sad is, I'm a consumer myself. I don't think that I get treated in a royal fashion hardly anywhere. And I think all customers should be treated in a royal fashion. I mean, getting the customer today, I mean, let's go to the world of digital. The world of digital, it's very expensive getting customers and the cost of acquiring customers. So if you have somebody that is a customer, you know, that customer could be a customer for life. And certainly, I mean, in roofing, they don't always just, everyone just doesn't get a whole new roof. Maybe it's a service call, but if you treat them the right way with your communication, with your on-time service, with the execution, etc., the professionalism all the way through. I deal with lots of different companies, and some companies feel like it's just a kind of a family-run business and they don't really care about execution, and others are operating at high efficiency, and I can tell there's somebody cracking the whip there, making that engine go very, very, very smoothly.
So you spoke about how you've used, you know, different influencers. You talked about using Flowrida and, you know, all these people to be able to push some of the products that you have. What are some of the ways, obviously, with roofing contractors, typically they're dealing with a small, you know, niche of like, hey, I'm working here just in Greenville, South Carolina, or wherever they're working, right? So what are some of the ways that roofing contractors can use that same methodology, but in their respective markets?
You know, there's tremendous opportunities for getting talent. And I go all the way back to my early days when I didn't have budgets. So I talked talent into taking no money up front, but getting a percentage of the sale. And so that changed the industry a lot, because now all of a sudden, you know, I had a guy that bartered, you know, a couple $1,000s for a percentage. The percentage paid him over $1 million, okay? So, you know, it's like, you know, the bottom line is that you always negotiate the best deal that you can. So, you know, I'm trying to remember exactly where.
Well, I'm thinking like, is there a certain way that I can, like, if I'm a roofing contractor, you know, you're working with these big brands, with some of these big influencers. Who are some of the influencers on a smaller level that I should be targeting as a roofing contractor?
Okay, so the point of getting an influencer is that if you can get them at the right time, and I'm talking about in some cases in local levels, you know, football players. They don't have to be, you know, NFL, and in your local market, it's not going to be an NFL local player, but certainly now some of the college players are able to get paid. So I would think you get a hot college player that's able to take some money and become a spokesperson. You know, those are some of the more creative ways to go. You know, I've always looked at, all right, who are people that are known locally? I've hired ex-newscasters, right? Because they're used to working, like, there was a girl in Tampa, Florida, 22 years she worked as the morning anchor from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. and then did some morning stuff, and she was done by noon every day. But she had to be up every night at 2 a.m. Well, when she finally retired, she came to work for me, and we had her doing all kinds of assignments because she was so well known. She was a door opener everywhere. So these people, even though they may not be on television, they're still very interested in performing and having some revenue stream. So, so from whether it's ex-sports folks or local sports folks, some of the college folks, newscasters, anybody that's got a little bit of a buzz or that's had a little bit of a buzz around town.
Sure. So now you're involved with RoofMax as well, which is super interesting because obviously with us being in the roofing space, RoofMax is you know, we hear it everywhere. So what attracted you to RoofMax?
So when I was 15 years old, I started sealing asphalt driveways in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
I would knock on doors and tell people, you got some cracks out there. They're going to expand when the water freezes inside of them this winter. Let's fill those cracks and I'll beautify your driveway. that was my business. And as a high school kid during the summer, and I would do between 10 and 15 jobs a week, just sealing the driveways, knocking on the doors, and had a lot of fun doing that. When I heard about RoofMax, and I live in Florida, the bitter heat just bakes the oils out of those asphalt shingles. And so I've seen it, and I've been up on roofs, and they're crinkled, and when shingles start going like this, they're not keeping the water out the way they should. That's where water starts coming in, so you need to get those shingles taken care of. And by the way, once RoofMax is applied, they flatten out, and they're even just like they were when they were new. So when I saw that, I sort of like what I call magical transformation. In the world of as seen on TV, that worked. It's things that you could, whether it be an acne product that had magical transformation, or a weight loss, or a Tony Little fitness product where people were, this weight and now this weight, that magical transformation works, and that works for roofing, because even sometimes where the roof had been turned down by the insurance company, sometimes, and this is not all the time, but sometimes they'll come back after RoofMax is applied and actually see that it was a very strong benefit to that roof, and now they'll write the policy. So some pretty good things can happen with RoofMax.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, before we finish up, I do want to ask you about, you're coming to RoofCon, and we're excited to have you, and you're going to be speaking about becoming a key person of influence,
yes,
which is right up our alley with with our mission of developing leaders in the industry. And so if you could just leave us one little tidbit of becoming a person of influence, what would that be?
I would say this. Right now in your market, if you're in the roofing business, there's somebody else that's also in the roofing business that's out doing some things, speaking, putting out some podcasts, writing some books and things like that. They might be out there just creating some higher profile things. And I'm saying that then when somebody like me goes to find the roofer that I want to do business with, I go to the internet. What do I see? Oh, he's written books, he's done this, he's done that. There's all this content all over the place. That's who I start with. And so this is how the smart consumer starts today. The old days, it was referral and family business, etc. Today, it's about being smart on a digital level. And so I'm going to be sharing a lot of tips on how to do this, how to raise your profile, and become the roofer that they will call when they need a good roofer.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you taking just a few minutes here to chat, and anyone that's tuned in, we really appreciate it. Catch Kevin at RoofCon this year, November 9th through the 11th. At RoofCon Orlando at the Orange County Convention Center. Get your tickets today at roofcon.com. We'll see you there. We appreciate it. Thanks, Kevin.
Hey, see you there.
Appreciate it, brother.
Right,
RoofCon's amazing. Getting to see all the speakers like Nick and Eric and especially Tim Tebow. Very exciting and eye-opening.
Amazing speakers and great knowledge. Keep it up.
First RoofCon, been following Hunter and the Revolt Clan for quite some time, and it's definitely been a lot more than what we expected.
This event is getting better and better.
So if you're going to go to one roofing conference, make sure that it's RoofCon.
RoofCon 2023 returns to Orlando, Florida, November 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets at roofcon.com.